Hey everybody, it's Edmond Vanderbilt with another episode of Once Around the Block. I'm here with the one, the only...
Cathryn Pickei.
Hello, Cathryn. Pickei.
Pickei, French.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you have French heritage?
French-Syrian. There's a big
Wow.
population in Damascus.
Jeez, okay. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing today?
Doing good. Having a nice day.
Yeah. Where did we start? Where are we right now?
We are in Alphabet City, a little sub-neighborhood in the East Village. It's nice.
New York City.
New York City.
Yeah. What brings you here?
Graduated college, and where else do you go? New York City.
There's a million places to go. You were drawn to it for a particular reason?
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to work in food, and it's a good city to live in. A lot of opportunities, and food scene's really good, especially here.
Yeah, so we were chatting a little bit. You were on a very different track, and you kind of put it on hold, or
Canceled it. I'm
canceling
canceling.
I love
it.
that you're committed. Okay, and can you tell everybody what you canceled it for?
Yeah, I was gonna go to law school, do that, but I love cheese and I want to do what I love.
Yeah.
So I figured cheese, work with that.
So is that a tough decision to make or take? I think that law school sounds a little bit more concrete, especially in the old school way of looking at things.
It was tough. It's been a lot of work the past year, kind of accepting not being in a place where I'm wearing a button-down shirt to work and where I can, drink a beer in the middle of the day.
Sure.
But I mean, I literally had to make a PowerPoint for my parents to show them, like, this can be a real career and I can have a real job and future with this.
Can I ask you to summarize the PowerPoint, because it's interesting, right? We're in a place where you could actually make your whole life about cheese.
Yeah, so the PowerPoint was basically different. I kind of made it as like a tree and all the different branches and possible careers that I could have, expected salaries, and then the education that I would need, different certifications I can get,
Right.
and then just how I would go about doing all of that, and classes I can take, education that I can get now that's not as expensive as law school.
So is that just an approach you would take anyway, or was that really just so you could talk to your folks about it?
I like making PowerPoints,
Okay.
but it was tough getting my parents at first
Right.
when I told them that.
What I think's interesting about it is just how pragmatic it is, right?
Yeah.
It's not just kind of throwing caution to the wind and eating cheese all day.
That pragmatism has really helped me actually in the cheese world and food world in general.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's kind of combining my college education and presenting skills, the reading skills, the analytic skills that you wouldn't get from a culinary background, and putting it to use in this field.
Totally.
So it's been helpful.
I follow this guy called James Altucher. Talks about business, but he talks about idea sex. And what this kind of falls under in this case is you're taking a background that was on a certain track and you're mixing it with another track,
Yeah.
and coming up with your own version of everything.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
I like it. I always joke when people are like, "Oh, you went to college," and I'm like, "Yeah, I studied political science. It's really paying off right now."
Yeah. So what's something about cheese that nobody understands?
How blossoming the U.S. cheese culture is right now. I think
Fascinating.
it's on the verge of blowing up.
Really?
People, I think a lot of times in the U.S. are like, European cheese is where it's at, like France, Italy. You can't get good raw milk cheeses in the U.S. You can get amazing U.S.-made cheeses. My favorite cheese that I've ever had is U.S.-made. So I think that's a common misconception.
Okay, so a couple things. It's on the verge. What's happening in culture that it's gaining traction? What's going on?
I think this generation, 20s, 30s, is getting more conscious about their food.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen it with the craft beer industry. People are no longer being like, all right, let's just get some Bud Lights.
Right.
They're thinking, let's get some IPAs, what's local. And I think those ideas are starting to take shape in the cheese world. It's cool to see. It's really exciting. I feel like I'm in a marketplace and a field that's yet to be defined.
Yes. And you're going to help define it.
I am. That's I plan to,
Excellent.
blaze that cheese trail.
Are you making cheese?
I'm not. That is a
a whole different ballgame.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
rigorous. And I had a friend who did it, and she said it was so tough.
Yeah. So how do people get into cheese if they know nothing about cheese?
So that's pretty much what I did. I came into it just, with a Google degree.
Yeah.
And I just went from place to place and was like, hey, do you need a cheesemonger?
Right.
And I found my place. It's become a cheese home mecca for me.
Okay, where's that?
Alphabet City Beer Co.
Okay.
It's awesome. We specialize in craft beer. And I came into it. Their cheese section was good. I saw that they put effort into it. But it still had a lot of room for development.
Yeah. So this is appealing to small businesses or to breweries, to bars, to
Yeah.
have a cheese element. I mean, now that we're here and talking about it, it makes perfect sense. You
Yeah.
could contrast with some tastes and all that. So, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think it helps the beer because there are some cheeses where you eat it, it's good, you love it. But then when you have it with this beer, it becomes this whole new flavor that you wouldn't get from eating the cheese individually or the beer individually.
Right. And it's not a full meal. I mean, although it can feel like it sometimes, but they're just little taste pairings, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, the boards we make, they're fat. I mean, it's definitely filling, but
Right.
I like cheese because it doesn't feel like you're settling on one item. You get to
Yeah.
have a little adventure with your
Sure.
food.
Cool. We've talked about cheese the whole time, which is fine. Is there what else you want to talk about?
There's not much going on in my head aside from cheese
Okay.
right now. It's a problem that I have.
You got
where
a
I go
cheese
to parties
brain.
and
I'll put
it's
it on
all I
video.
talk
I'll make bad
about.
jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to parties, you live, breathe, eat, sleep cheese.
It's where actually my Instagram name came from, Cat Dreams of Cheese. It happened. I was really sick this year. It sounds like I ripped off the name of that documentary, Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
Okay. Oh,
It was
right.
actually, I was really sick and I was having fever dreams about cheese, and I kept
Wow.
waking up being like, I gotta stop thinking about
Yeah, this is getting intense. We've completed the block, and I have this thing called the Words of Wisdom, which is basically just an opportunity to talk about anything you might want to say or a shout out.
Don't you like what you do? I don't think you're going to be very good at something if you don't like it very much. If you're passionate, it'll find a way to work itself out, or at least have a place in your life.
Cool. Say bye to folks at home.
Bye, folks at home.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.